show, final hour on a Tuesday. Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, community. That's CC Electric. Now, we end every Tuesday with the community spotlight. Today is the Aggieland Humane Society. We begin almost every Tuesday with Olin Buchana of TexAgs. He joins us inside the Charles Schwab studio. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients. That would be you if you make that choice, by offering personalized guidance and clarity. Personalized clarity. And how do you get it personalized? Normally you call, you're like on hold for an hour or phone treeing it, right? And it's personalized because with Charles Schwab, we got Marcel, who's right here in College Station, and you walk into his office and shake a hand and you look him in the eye and you sit down and you talk to him. That's personalized. You can get answers to your questions. You can learn more at schwab.com/College Station. Olin, am I boring you?
No.
You've been yawning for 30 minutes. Like you ain't slept in 2 weeks.
Well, no, I mean,
I understand Aggie baseball. I understand buckyball. I understand the TexAgs life, where you are on call night or day, where you guys are, if news is broke, you broke it. I mean, I get it.
It's just I've been up since 5, and so maybe
that's every day for you.
Maybe just a little bit before that, and so I think it's
you got your 7-hour workout in.
I think it's pretty common to once you've been awake for what is that, around 9 or 10 hours. You probably yawn here and there, but I'm good.
I understand. You have your 7-hour workout. You have to eat your steel cut oats and
no, I'm
all
not
the
David Nuno. That would be Nuno with the 7-hour workout. And, measuring all of his food. And
how does David find the time to do everything he does? Because he does his workouts. Yeah, he does. He does the family thing. He does TexAgs Live, and then he has the other TexAgs responsibilities. It is amazing how he's able to fit in everything.
It is. I'm not sure how it's possible. He always says, "Well, I go work out because it's like brush my teeth every day. It's something you do every day.
You got to commit," and he does.
And he does. But so I get that. But he doesn't just work out. Then he does the MMA. He goes to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So he's just preparing for whatever war that may arise.
So when you say the end times hit, the apocalyptic times, bring Nuno into your house, right, into your cave, your bunker, whatever.
Yes.
All right, I'm down with this. I have no problem with anything you just said.
I think he wants to maybe be a bodyguard someday.
Well, he's Garden Billy. We already know that.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
Fair enough. If you have a question for Olin, if you have a question for me, or if you'd like to win a $100 gift card to Honey Baked Ham, because when you text, you have a chance. Every day I pull 2 names at the end of the show, and Friday I'll draw 1 name, and they're going to win a $100 gift card to Honey Baked Ham. Text now. You got about 56 minutes left. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. 1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. I've been waiting for you to pop up here because Olin saw this sheet of paper. It was projected starters. It was an on-3 thing, offense only. I mean, we'll do defense later. We haven't started that hardcore offense thing. And projected starters offense, I did a quick look at it earlier. I don't know. Earlier would be Monday, Friday. I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, okay.
Quarterback, Marcel Reed.
Yes.
Oh, well. Running back, Reuben Owens II.
Yes.
Wide receiver, we know Horton and Craver, but they have the number 3 wide receivers, Adrian Gregory.
Well,
Aaron Gregory.
Yeah, I think they'll be that number 3 guy, if he's healthy, is Ashton Bethel Roman.
He broke out over the last half of the season, and he was awesome in the last third of the season.
Yeah. So I think Ashton Bethel Roman will be your 3rd receiver. I do think Gregory's going to play a lot.
That was okay. That's exactly my thought was he's going to play. Look, you have plenty of snaps for 4, I would argue 5 wide receivers to get time. Mm-hmm. So if you're 4 wide receivers deep, it's not a problem.
No.
But there's no way, and I'll use your qualifier, if healthy, that Bethel Roman's not the 3rd wide receiver. I can't imagine him getting past.
Yeah, I can remember that one-handed catch he made against LSU, going, reaching back, and unfortunately they didn't score on that, even though it was like a 40-yard gain. And I guess didn't really have to dive too much, but a falling catch against South Carolina to kind of keep that rally going. And I think the first score against Arkansas was his touchdown. So he's a very productive guy in the second half of the year.
Yeah, He's the 3 slot. Micah Riley's the tight end?
I don't think so. I think that'll go with the kid from Fresno or Houston Thomas. I know Riley's been here longer, but that kid from Richie.
Cunningham.
No, it wasn't Cunningham.
Rich.
No, it wasn't Rich. I'm blanking on his name. I don't feel too bad about that because, he's a new guy. But he transferred from Fresno State, and he looked real good to me when I'd seen him in practice, as does Houston Thomas. So I think that guy will be the starting tight end, one of those two, either Houston or Richie Anderson. Yeah, so I think that's your starters.
I wonder what the tight end role will be in the offense going forward. We knew under Colin Klein that tight ends were supposed to be important, essential, and leaders in formation deception coming here. I don't know if it all played out that way, to be fair, but that was part of his offensive philosophy.
Well, one of them ended up being a second-round draft choice.
No joke. Hey, no joke.
And he was a good player.
And under Holman Wiggins and the new emphasis on more passing offense efficiency or attacking, however this has been phrased. I think it's very vague, and we'll see what it is, but I don't know what the role of the tight end will be moving forward.
Well, I mean, they'll throw it to him. I think I think they're going to be more productive from a receiving standpoint next year at the tight end position than they were last year. But last year, I can understand. I had people question, well, this guy talking about Bocher, only had 19 catches. Well, yeah, but he caught everything thrown to him. When you've got Casey Concepcion and Mario Craver, and then we talked about Ashton Bethel Roman, and you're throwing in Terry Bussey, why are you going to be throwing a lot to the tight end?
Because he was open, but Marcel would never check down?
Well, first of all, it's not true to say never. I think Marcel, in my opinion, and somebody can probably show me the video and show why I'm wrong, but in my opinion, especially the Texas game and maybe the Miami game, I think Marcel was looking for the big play in those games. But there are games before that he was fine with his selection. But I think the last 2 games are just magnified so much. And, maybe just felt like they had to make them or got caught up in the moment. But it was just, with the exception of those 2 games, I don't think he was always passing up the checkdowns.
I thought he looked for the big play too often, forced it at times when it wasn't there. And that's why the offense would sputter for a quarter at a time.
I wonder if that...
Or he'd score 21 points in a quarter.
Yeah, I wonder if that wasn't an overcorrection, though. And if it is, I mean, that's on him and the coaches. They got to deal with that. But remember, early in the year, he was being criticized for not being able to hit the deep ball.
Correct.
Right, because he had some guys open, overthrew them, and the deep ball can't. And then he started throwing it, having some success with it, and maybe just, like I said, overcorrected. But I'm fine with him. He's got to get better, and I think he will.
All he has to do is be a year better.
Yeah.
Last year in the offseason, he got a year better, and he was, and he led into 11-1. If he just gets one offseason better, that's enough.
I think he will.
I don't know why he wouldn't. They got him his old quarterback coach or a coach from his past is now the quarterback's coach. They're tailoring everything to him. Why would he not get a year better?
Well, if he doesn't get a year better, it's probably because the offensive line disappointed. He was under more pressure, and they didn't have the same running game to support him as they had last year.
Yeah. In my head, I can't imagine he's not a year better. To the O-line, we're taking a look at these projected starters. We'll go left side. Tyree Adams and Cohen Eccles.
I'll say Tyree Adams for sure. Cohen Eccles is definite maybe. I think he'll have to beat out somebody, but I don't think you bring in those SEC starters to sit unless somebody just flat beats them out.
Center, Mark Naboo, that's the easy one.
Yeah.
And then the right side, they have Blake Ivy at the guard with Wilkin Formby as the tackle.
Okay, Formby for sure. Again, why do you bring a starter from South Carolina, Tavon Ball, in if you're not intending for him to play? Now, if Blake Ivy goes out and just flat beats him out, absolutely, get the best guy out there. But I'm kind of, I don't know why I'm going to say, for some reason, I kind of feel like if one of those guys they brought in is not starting, one of the 4 offensive linemen, I'm kind of thinking it might be Eccles, and I don't know why.
Okay.
It'll be one of the guards though. It'll be one of the guards. If they don't, if one of those 4 guys don't start, it'll either be Eccles or Ball. I'll give them that.
So Ivy would maybe at either guard spot though beat out one of them, and it could be Eccles and Ball starting. Ball with Ivy starting versus Eccles with Ivy starting.
And there'll be other guys they'll be looking at. You wonder, like a guy like, I know they like Borden a lot. He backed up at tackle last year. Is he going to be one of those guys that I'm not predicting this, but what if he's so good, but he's just not better than the tackles, and you want to get him in there? Kind of like, remember back in the day, you had Jokel and Matthews, so Cedric O'Boy, he played guard.
Yeah.
And then I think they did the same thing with Jermaine Ifedi. So maybe it could be that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm not necessarily predicting that.
That was one of the things I think, I saw this. I read everything. I'm a consensus guy. I like to pull in as much data as I can. That this O-line, here was the line. This O-line might not be better than last year, but it'll be deeper than last year. Yeah,
in fact, Mike Elko alluded to that. Not that they wouldn't be better, but about them being deeper at the the post-spring, the Maroon White game press conference, post-game press conference. And, he said, we didn't give up very many sacks through the day. And he said, and I can attribute that to we have a lot more depth than we had last year. It was 2 years ago. I remember Nick Scorton just wore out Hunter Erb. And okay, this Hunter, it'd be one thing if you wore out somebody else, but Hunter,
Trey Zone.
Right. So,
I'm not saying he would. I gets the
but
point.
you had to balance that. So, I think that I'll say I feel comfortable saying this right now. The left side of the line won't be as good as it was last year. I mean, you had a 3rd-round pick and a 2nd-round pick. You can't just assume you're going to be better than Zune and Basantes. I do think the right side could be better. And quite frankly, they could be better just by...
Is it because of the Armaj Reed? Crownover. Because of the Crownover slot?
I thought they were both above average, but and good. I mean, they both got drafted, so they're good players. Like in Crownover's position, and I almost hate to say anything that sounds negative because he's such a good guy. But I just thought you could, if you're not incompetent, you could be at least a push in how good you are compared to him if you don't have false starts and holding issues. Because he had some major issues with false starts and holding. And, Reed Adams, I thought he was good. But didn't necessarily think. I really liked him. He interned for us at TexAgs. Great young man, but I didn't necessarily think of him as being this guy that's irreplaceable. Well, nobody's irreplaceable, but it'll be harder to replace a guy like Basantes.
Imagine another year of Basantes.
Yeah, I would.
Just a year better, a year more, another year development with him. Could have been the best lineman in the country.
I wish all the Aggies would come back for their last year, and everybody else would go ahead and go into the NFL.
Oh, okay. You wanted it both ways. Sorry, not just your own guys back.
I just want my guy. I want KC back. Don't we all?
I wanted Basantes back. The O-line obviously is the biggest. Well,
yeah, but remember.
Defining unit for the upcoming season will be the O-line. Yeah, they're the defining unit.
I think the two biggest areas of question is going to be linebacker because of the injury.
They're the biggest. I have them in the biggest mystery category.
And I think the offensive line. Now you could say, well, if I want to take it away from necessarily the position, but just the element. You'd say the pass rush, I don't expect him to get 43 sacks.
No, I expect 60.
Well, that'd be awesome. But I wouldn't just assume that they're not going to have a very acceptable sack total, because how many times have we seen it? You don't have to have the SEC Defensive Player of the Year to get pressure when Mike Elko is dialing up all his blitzes that he does.
But if the linebacking core does not work out, they might have 5 sacks because teams will run every down.
Well, there's that too.
All right, we'll pick up the conversation. Yeah. If anybody has a question for Olin, I would say have a question for me, but don't waste your time. Olin's here. Enjoy your OB time. Text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. I'll be right back. It's the Louis Buchana Show, Tuesday on The Zone.
Home, road, or bowl, you can hear Aggie football on The Zone. The Zone.
It is the Louis Buchana Show. Tuesday's a great day. You hang out with people like Joe Sheehan of the Joe Sheehan newsletter on the D4 Land Services hotline. That's always 12 o'clock, talking MLB, Astros, Rangers, and more. If you ever need a custom metal building, like from the ground up, custom metal building, go to d4landservices.com. d4landservices.com. And then it's 1 o'clock and Olin Buchana joins you inside the Charles Schwab studio, and it's a great day. You mentioned the 2 units, the question marks, whatever. I kind of break everything up into categories. And I mentioned that I thought the O-line would define the 2026 season, like between college football playoff or back to the 8-4, which would make Aggies like shudder and cry, and 9 wins or whatever. I put linebacker into the mystery because I'm not dooming and glooming, because we don't have a clue between Coney and McHale. The 2 of them might end up being all SEC.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Or they both, it could be a black hole of a spot. We know they have 0 depth, to be fair. No matter how it plays out, they won't have depth, but they could be great. They could create chaos. They could be playmakers. We don't know at all, and we won't until the games start. And that's really weird.
I'm very optimistic about Noah McHale. I know he hadn't done it on a long, everything you've seen has been a small sample size, but I think, and I'm talking about not the interception in the spring game. Even though it was a nice play, I'm talking about when he got out there and played last year. And I'd say, I see something with this guy. And Coney, of course, he was excellent at Tulsa, but he's got to be excellent against SEC competition, right? So they need to be better at linebacker. And the first thing they got to do is, and hopefully, who knows if it'll be those guys, the first thing they got to do with that linebacker is solve the misfit problem that always led to the long runs. A&M had given up, I think I counted up 41 rushing plays of 20 yards or more over the last 2 seasons. And so if you do that, if you solve that problem, A&M was like 130th last year. 130th, that's not true. Was like 40th at giving up like 130 yards rushing a game last year. And that's not bad. 30th's not bad. And if you take away the long gains, and those become those 75-yard runs, and there were a few. Become
7 or 5.
then that's really what you got to do, because, and I saw it, that's vital, and I'll tell you why. So last week I did a little story where I looked up some different statistics and how the last 5 national champions did in all those statistical categories, to give you an idea of here's where A&M was and here's where they need to go. All of the last 5 national champions, that would be Indiana last year, Ohio State in 24, Michigan in 23, and Georgia in 22 and 21. All 5 of those teams were ranked 6th or better in rushing defense.
Had no clue, wouldn't have guessed, makes 1,000,000%. Because if you can run the ball, you can do everything.
Or if you stop the run.
Let me rephrase that. If you can't stop the run, then the other team can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it reminds me, to your point, it reminds me of A&M playing Ole Miss. I guess this was 22, when the guy didn't like, I got to think of the defense coordinator, Durbin.
Yeah.
Durbin. I call him Smirkin. DJ Durkin. Smirkin Durkin. Anyway, they play an Ole Miss.
You just burned him for 20 yards, sideline shot, and he's just smiling. And he just got torched.
But they play Ole Miss.
He made no sense.
They open up with a 3-man front. Remember back then, the whole deal was they had gotten all those linemen. And Ole Miss.
He was a 3-man front guy,
no matter
despite
what.
the fact that A&M had 6 All-American D linemen.
And very few linebackers. Anyway,
I remember Durkin had success running the 4. A&M was leading in control, and he couldn't help himself. Second half, he ran 3. They start getting torched. He's too late to switch back because he believes in 3. He couldn't stand success, even because it was
that's one of the things that one of the reasons they lost Appy State. Appy State was, we'll take 4-yard runs all the way down.
Remember the number of 3rd and 12s they converted in 3rd and double digits because he'd just come out in the 3 and they ran? Or 3rd and 8. Let's be fair. I think it was 7/8 because Never mind.
But
Go
anyway,
ahead.
this Ole Miss game, they opened up the game, and Ole Miss got the ball like the 25. They opened up the game in the 3-man front. Kiffin ran something like 8 straight running plays right at him, went right downfield and scored. Now, they didn't play in the 3-man front the rest of the game. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know this, but I suspect that Jimbo Fisher told him, you're either going to get out of that 3-man front or I'm going to kick your butt.
Or get off my sideline.
Right.
Or get off my sideline.
Yeah.
Everything Durkin called in that game was wrong.
Now, let me say,
when they called blitz, they ran screen. And when they dropped back, they went over. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Now, I don't have a problem with a 3-man front if you have the personnel for it. But, well, you know what? When I first came to work here at the Eagle in 1993, R.C. Slocum and Bob Davey, they ran a 3-man front.
Okay.
And they had the personnel to do so. And it was a dominant defense.
I'll just say that's a different time in college football.
Okay.
I just don't.
Well, you know, Nick
Smarter
Saban.
minds than me can maybe find a time where a 3-man front could work. I just don't know about the dropping 8. Maybe a lesser quarterback who can't find the hole in the zone.
Well, I'm not saying they always dropped 8.
I know. Just in college football today, you got that much time. The wide receiver will beat you. Someone on your defense will fail. I just don't see how 3-man fronts work in college football today.
Alabama under Saban usually ran a 3-man front. But anyway, the point is, if you've got the personnel, play the defense that's best for your personnel.
Well, Durkin had, again, 6 All-American D linemen, and still, he ran a 2-man front, dropping his nose tackle to guard a running back out of the backfield and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. Another time they were playing at Ole Miss was it was the next to the last Jimbo game, I think. Remember they lost.
Why are we going to the dark days?
I don't know.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. Let's forget about it. Let's just move on.
Why do you do this?
It's just where my mind goes sometimes.
Evil. You're going to pure evil.
I'll just say this. I don't like and A&M did some last year too. I don't like when you got a really good pass rusher. I don't like the call when he drops back in pass defense.
He's not supposed to be the decoy. Your decoy is supposed to free him up.
Yeah, I don't like that.
If you want to help Olin get out of this funk, text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Do they have the next Cassius Howell?
I don't know if they have
next
the guy.
Shamar Stewart, because it's next up.
They'll probably
the
get
Sackmaster.
Saka or Marco Jones. One of those are probably, neither of them, I think, will have more sacks or as many sacks as Howell had. But I think both of them will have more sacks than Shamar Stewart had. Shamar Stewart only had a couple.
Yeah, that D line never had the numbers, but they still got drafted high.
Yeah, on
year one,
just athletic ability. Sometimes I think they made a mistake. Now, look what I know. I think sometimes they should have just said, look, guys, we're not going to worry about twists and stunts and all this. Here's what we're going to tell you to do. Beat that guy in front of you. You're a better athlete. You're strong. Just beat him.
You're good enough. You're smart enough. And dang it, you can beat him.
And people like you. So, but that said, I mean, one of those years they're with Elko, and I'm not going to act like I know more about it than Elko does.
One of those years, Elko was in charge of the defense.
Well, Elko did more with the defense last year. The year before, I'm sure he had input, but it was more of Bradford's call.
Bateman.
Bateman. See, I've already forgotten. Maybe it should have been Bradford.
I'm okay. I'm fascinated to see. Okay, so year one, Elko was on the D sideline, but someone else ran it. Year two, he ran it. How's this going to work with Hemphill?
I think they'll go in with Hemphill calling the defense. And I think from everything I understand, I think he and Elko are more like-minded. I'm not saying that Bateman was arguing at any time or anything. I just think that they've I think it's almost like, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, it's almost like Hemphill, not 100%, but almost like he's been a protege of Elko. And so he kind of learned under Elko, whereas I think Bateman, learned elsewhere.
So game day value of Elko, he was one of the, when he was the DC here, he's one of the three best DCs.
There wasn't anybody better.
Aranda was the DC at that time, and I thought him or 1-2. They were
I didn't say he was the best.
No one's better, right?
I just said nobody's better.
So when he was back on the sideline calling defensive plays, his value was insane again last year. What does he do at that time back now during game day that he wasn't doing last year, doing both? Those are the thoughts that hit me.
Right. That's a good question.
We saw the defense move forward, all those kind of things, right? You get what I'm saying? So yeah. I just kind of wonder. I mean, look, I'm not knocking Hemphill. We'll see how it goes, but we just went from guaranteed money to finding out what Hemphill's like.
I'm going to say that Elko has a pretty good track record, a pretty good success rate on decisions that he makes. I don't even think Bateman was a bad hire. I think he did a fine job. They could have done better, and I think Elko recognized that, and so he made the decision. I'm going to be more involved in the call of plays, and it was a good decision.
Yeah.
And you look at the guys he's hired as assistant coaches. These are good decisions. Like Cushing and Trooper Taylor, and brought in Eli Robinson back. I think he's done well with Tony Girardetti. Holman Wiggins as a receivers coach, and now as an offense coordinator, we'll see. So I just think that Elko has a good track record. So if Elko says, you know what, I think that this is a good time to make Hemphill my defensive coordinator, give him some of the rope, then I'm going to say, well, he's probably right. Probably is, because Elko said it.
We'll see. We talk about storylines. 2 new coordinators is a storyline for the season.
Yeah. And Elko's kind of like a Nostradamus.
Huh? What?
When he predicts it or when he sees it, it comes to pass. And hopefully it'll come to pass.
We got text messages,
right.
So we'll take a timeout.
Nostradamus, right?
He was the guy that played fullback.
Yeah, that
for
was
the
him.
Irish. He was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
The Notre Dame Nostradamus. Yeah.
He was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse when they were winning national championships. He won a Heisman, I think.
Yeah, Nostradamus.
When we return, your text messages and more. It's the Louie Bellina Show, for better or worse, here on The Zone.
Oh, hello, friends. The Louie Bellina Show.
Nope, not today.
It might not be about the journey or the destination. Nobody really knows.
Wow, man.
Listen in weekdays 11 to 2 on The Zone.
The Zone.
It is the Louie Bellina Show inside the... Olin's looking at me like a robot that's stuck on like the repeat button. It is the Louie Bellina Show. It is Tuesday. Down the stretch we come. Looking at the clock, I'm bad with math, but I think in 13 minutes, give or take, whatever I get wrong. In 13 minutes, it's Community Spotlight, Aggieland Humane Society. That is today on the Community Spotlight. Olin, I told you we had some text messages.
Let's hear them.
You sure you're ready?
Yeah.
Big G in Bryan said, I would rather have Orgeron coach the baseball team than have Smirkin Durkin coach anything at A&M.
I'm with you, Big G.
Oh, wow. Nathan King.
By the way, Orgeron was a good head coach when he was content to recruit and just be the face of the program and not have to hire assistants. Should have let somebody else hire his assistant. Somebody knew what they were doing.
What he did at LSU was so weird when he woke up one day and wanted to be the GM.
Yeah.
He stopped being the head coach, and some reason it was maybe he saw a headline that accused him of not being too overly involved, and when he got in the middle of everything, it all fell apart.
Remember when he acknowledged that he hired Bo Pelini as his defensive coordinator without even interviewing him? And then he couldn't find a new offensive coordinator. Just let somebody like your athletic director hire those guys, tell them what you're looking for, and then just recruit, Ed, and recruit and be Ed. And that would have been good enough.
Recruit, motivate.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Play to your strengths. Instead, he just got outside his box.
Yeah.
And it all fell apart. So you remember how quick, too?
Yeah.
Next text message, by the way, all text messages are from the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile and Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. And every day this week, if you text, you might win a $100 gift card from Honey Baked Ham. Every day I pull 2 names. That means there'll be 10, 5 days, 2 times 5. I can do that math. 10 people, I'll draw 1 person. And something about Honey Baked Ham, I don't mention this often. They also do turkey. So with that $100 gift card, you're like, hey, I love ham. And then you have that one person in your group like, I don't like ham. I want turkey. Fine. They can take care of you at Honey Baked Ham. Text message is from Nate.
I like ham.
I love ham. And it's one of those things that makes it so cool. I don't eat it all the time. So when I do, it's like a treat, right?
Yeah.
And Honey Baked Ham rocks. You were telling me you liked Honey Baked Ham.
I like a good ham sandwich.
Oh, who doesn't? Honey Baked Ham. Nathan Kingfish, he's in Snook.
Okay.
Is there enough NIL money to make Obi's dream of great players to hang around for 4 years?
If the guy's going to be a top 3 pick, there's not. But what's going to be really interesting is sometimes you have players that probably have NFL possibilities, but have definite I want to say they definitely can make more money in college. They can continue to, not more money you can make in the NFL, but continue to make money in college. So, for instance, and look, I hope Tarian York makes a team, and I hope he has a great NFL career. But he could have come back to A&M and probably got a nice paycheck for a year. And then the NFL was still going to be there. But he bet on himself. He doesn't get drafted. Okay, all right, no big deal. You can get a free agent. If he doesn't make a team, and I hope he does, and I'm not predicting that he won't, but if he doesn't make a team, he probably could have made somewhere between $500,000 to $750,000 at A&M. In the real world that we live in, who wouldn't take $500,000 to play football for a year? So if he doesn't make a team, if he doesn't, and I hope he does, but if he doesn't, he's left
$500,000
at least on the table.
Right.
Well, think about Marcel Reed next year. This time next year, is Marcel Reed? Is he going to go into the NFL draft as a thin 6'1" quarterback that has a lot of ability and could make he could probably make $2 million? Or would he say, no, I'm going to NFL? You could, and who is it to tell anybody what to do? But you could make, theoretically, if you're Marcel Reed, this year and next year, $2 million, theoretically, as a quarterback of A&M, knowing that the NFL is still going to be there. Or you just go into the draft hoping you make even more than that, and that's fine if you make a team. But if you don't, could you be leaving $2 million on the table?
We're talking about the gamble.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I would have kept this, but I already started looking at like mock drafts for next year, and people's belief in them can vary, right? This year, teams avoided the quarterback position like the plague. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 first-round quarterbacks, which is unheard of low.
And one of them was shocking.
It's Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
The Tyson.
Maybe it's shocking that he went as low as he
Ty
did.
Simpson maybe going in the 20s.
Yeah.
Would have been
right.
okay.
But
him going 13 was an absolute travesty, right? Well, next year, and Marcel Reed's not one of the names, there's already 6.
There's Manning. There's probably the guy at Oregon.
Dante Moore.
There's the South Carolina guy.
You're talking about Lenore Sellers.
Lenora Sellers. Let's see, who else is out there that's I'm obviously missing.
Okay, Dante
not the guy at
Moore,
Ohio State.
Arch Manning, Jaden Maeva, quarterback USC.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I didn't print out all of them for you. Sorry, my apologies. But that's the first three. And that's 1, 2, 3, by the way. First three picks. Like Dolphins take Moore at Oregon, Jets take Manning, Texas, and the Cardinals take Maeva, quarterback USC. That's the first three picks. And there's at least 3 more in the first round. Teams avoided quarterbacks this year to take them next year. 6 first-round quarterbacks would probably be the men. Now, thinking that process, 6 men, can Marcel this year make himself one of the first 6 quarterbacks off the board and be a first-round pick? Because if not, now you're starting to have to see where Marcel's stock would be in the 28, because next year's the 27 NFL draft. 28, could he be one of the top 4 and be a first-round pick? That's the math.
But see, and my deal is it's not even that. It's just like if you stay in college, there's a good chance in that year you'll make more money than you could have in the NFL, because if you're not a first-round pick or a second-round pick, so they gotta weigh that, and I always think about that kid. Nico Amaliva on a jet plane,
Tennessee.
He was offered, I think, $2 million at Tennessee. Maybe it's 2.5, and he wanted more than that. He was only he could have stayed at Tennessee theoretically for 3 years, because he had 3 years eligibility, and make $7.5 million. I've been working since I was 19 years old. I still haven't made
You're making TexAgs money. We know better.
I have not made $7.5 million in my life.
You got that fat subscription money.
Yeah,
You've got that click money.
Yeah, you're confusing me with Billy Lucci. He's the one who has all that.
Nobody's confused you for Billy Lucci.
So anyway, the point is, I think it's not really answering the question the way he wanted. But I think that if a guy gets a 3rd or a 4th round grade, or definitely a 4th or 5th round grade, I think that you may start seeing more and more guys start figuring it out. The problem is the agents will tell them anything they want to hear.
Correct.
Because it doesn't matter to the agents. They're just trying to get a payday, and no matter what you get, they're going to take, I think it's 3% of it.
Agent gets 0 if you don't go to the draft. So agent's going to give you if they get in 15 different recommendations and one of them says your first round pick, that's the one the agent wants you to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I think that's what gets into a lot of guys' minds. They think, well, I'm told, and they're all, you playing this level, you're going to be confident in yourself. And I think every jock I've ever known thought, all I've got to do is work just a little bit harder, and I'm going to attain this. And other people can sit back and even sometimes even tell them. Now, I'll say this, back 20 years ago at least, Trent Williams, the offensive tackle, he was going to go into the draft. Bob Stoops convinced him you can make more money if you come back.
Because the OU car dealerships were paying well back then.
Well, but he came back and it worked out. It was the right move. So I think more people should, more of those kids should be thinking about, don't leave any money on the table, because the NFL's still going to be there. But if you get a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round grade, it's probably best that you go.
Olin, thank you, dude. It's just awesome to catch up with you. And by the way, congrats. You got a kid coming off your payroll soon, or he did?
He's going to walk across that stage in Baton Rouge on Friday night.
Congrats, brother.
Thank you.
That's only been like 30, 20 years of your life, so.
22.
Congrats, man.
All right, appreciate you.
Later, brother. Up next, when we return, Community Spotlight, Aggieland Humane Society. That's how we end Tuesdays on The Zone.
Follow The Zone on Twitter X and get guest alerts for TexAgs Live and the Louis Bellina Show. Follow us on Twitter X. Zone 1150.
The Louis Bellina Show, Tuesday. We wrap things up, Community Spotlight, and this is one of the more ragingly cute community spotlights we have had in a long time. Aggieland Humane Society. Katrina joins us inside the Charles Schwab studio. Oh, who is your friend?
I have Chrysanthemum here, who is so stinking cute. She's trying to give kisses to anything and everything. She is about a 7-week-old, maybe pit bull, American bulldog, mixed breed dog. And she is just so cute. She's going to grow up to be a big girl, but she is so adorable.
Chrysanthemum is a puppy. Got the cute eyes, got the ears, just wants to play. I mean, staring at me right now like, you talking about me?
I know. She is very much...
What an amazing dog.
Wants to just be romping around, and then, of course, we'll take a nice good nap by the time we get back to the shelter.
Wagging the tail. I mean, this is... Like, if you look up puppy in the encyclopedia, the textbook, whatever you want to call it, Chrysanthemum would be just like waving back with you with her tail.
Literally.
In the dictionary.
No, she's super cute, and she is actually making her adoption debut this Saturday with Aggieland Humane. So this Saturday, we are going to be out. Our friends at Sterling Subaru are so generous, and they let us crash their place. What? About once a quarter. And so this Saturday is a lucky day. We're going to be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. doing free pet adoptions. And that's where Chrysanthemum is going to find her forever home.
So what's the time again?
Yes, 10 a.m. is the start time. And you don't want to be late because they're first come, first serve.
So this Saturday at Sterling Subaru, starting at 10 a.m., it's a free adoption event. It's exactly what it sounds like. Dogs and cats?
Yes.
You stop by, and normally there's an adoption fee. No. The word free is in the title. It's a free adoption event. Now, do all these animals, they have their shots?
Everyone,
the microchip?
Everyone will be microchipped, up to date on vaccines, spayed and neutered, because, that's an expense. That can be a couple $100s to get them fixed. And then best of all, we send you home really with all the things you need to get started. So you'll get a sample bag of food, a little toy, and then some counseling. So that way you're not just making the super impulsive decision. We'll talk to you about it. We'll make sure that your home is prepped and ready.
So this Saturday, 10 a.m., Sterling Subaru, free adoption event. And all the animals there, microchipped, spayed, neutered. They have all their shots. You get like a care package to get to take them home too. So if you're looking to add a new member to your home,
yes,
your kid's already been looking for a new doggy, a new kitten, a new cat. Sterling Subaru, 10 a.m. this Saturday. You also have a free microchip event. So if someone's current animal, you're not looking for a new, but you want to take care of your current pet, you have a free microchip event.
Yes. The entire month of May, we are doing free microchips. Thanks to our friends at G Squared Private Wealth, we're able to provide free chips to dogs and cats across the Brazos Valley. And to get that, just come into Aggieland Humane anytime we're open. So it's super easy. Just come on in during open hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or I'm sorry, noon to 6 p.m. Oh my gosh, my team would not be happy
with me.
There's a
line at 10 a.m. and they all said, Katrina sent me.
Literally.
Katrina sent me.
Let me try that again. Anytime from noon to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then noon to 5 p.m. on Saturdays, you can come on down and get a free microchip. And if you're not sure if your pet has a microchip, because maybe you found your pet, who knows? Bring them down anyways. We will scan, and if they're not chipped, we can go ahead and do that. And if they are, we can go ahead and update that registration for you.
So if they are chipped, you should know. If they're not chipped, get them chipped.
Absolutely.
Either way, they could stop by the Aggieland Humane Shelter and get it taken care of.
Yes.
Update them kind of thing if you don't know.
Absolutely. And it's going on the whole month, and it's free. Thanks to our friends over at G Squared for making this opportunity possible, because, we really couldn't do it without them. We're hoping to get about 150 pets microchipped this month.
What is the website so people can go for more information on the free adoption event Saturday? They can go for more information on the free microchip event. And then, as time goes on, you guys do events all the time, and people can keep up to date. What's the website?
Yes. To see how you can get involved in the life-saving, visit us online at aggielandhumane.org.
aggielandhumane.org. And look, if you decide to look for a pet later on, you can check them all out. They have available at aggielandhumane.org. If you're interested in volunteering, and look, with the nonprofits, there's never going to be enough volunteers. There's always, more volunteers, the more they get to do.
Literally. Absolutely. Especially this summer. And, we can do family volunteers. So children as young as 9 years old, come on out. Come with your parent or guardian and come and volunteer. Give back this summer.
To find out how to volunteer, go to aggielandhumane.org. Katrina, thank you. The chrysanthemum is amazing.
Thank
so
you.
So cute. And I'll see you down the road.
See you then.
Have fun Saturday.
Hey, thank you.
I'm back tomorrow at 11. Peace. Be awesome, everybody. This has been the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric.
Everything in life has rules, and the Zone has prize rules for all contesting. You can check them out at zone1150.com. You may know you can win once every 30 days. There can only be one winner per household per month. You have 30 days to pick up your prizes. You have to be 18 or older to win. You have to present a legal ID to claim your prize. All prizes are non-transferable and not for resale. To make sure you do know all the rules, or if you have any questions about the prize rules, make sure to visit zone1150.com. Zone1150.com.